I always see people looking in my cart, so I'll just show you my grocery refresh. This isn't a full run. I freeze the bananas when they're ripe. It depends on the week what I'm having. Most days my diet is vegan, but when I'm not doing that, I'm especially prone to seafood and eggs. I was having tons of supplements for a while, all the collagens, magnesiums, everything, but these have been the main ones that I've had for the last good handful of months. My vitamin B12, easy iron, and vitamin D. You have to get the right form of a vitamin or mineral, otherwise your receptor sites will get filled up with the artificial ones and your body will just kind of not absorb the proper ones that you're actually taking in from your foods. I prefer cellulose capsules so that way you don't have all the binders and it's not just a giant rock that's really hard to digest. If there's a carrier ingredient, it needs to be something like olive oil. You can see for my other ingredients for my B12, it's just organic vegetable glycerin and distilled water. So this one you can see is really crazy. It contains milk, soy, and wheat traces, and it also has um, methyl cellulose and hydroxypropyl cellulose. You don't want that. Cellulose is natural and healthy for you. These other ones are synthetic and semi-synthetic, which is not good. Vitamins that look like this are really hard for your body to absorb, and you can tell because it's hard for you to even swallow it. Vegetable cellulose capsules dissolve very easily, and I also like to break them open and just dump them straight into my smoothie sometimes. My supplements change up a good amount, but my criteria for what's in them doesn't. If I've found a supplement that I really like, but the capsule isn't ideal, I'll again just dump it out and have the supplement separately. This is the most delicious hummus ever, and it's really hard for me to find it anywhere. I stocked up on a bunch the other day. It's eggplant, sesame, tahini, chickpeas, water, lemon juice, fresh garlic, and sea salt. It's all condensated because I just pulled it out of the fridge, but I love doing giant containers of already cooked or cut up vegetables and rice. This is a 1.75 quarts container. I really don't like plastic Tupperware, so these glass ones are great. And if you freeze rice, just totally hot tip, don't do it in large portions because it'll turn into an impenetrable block. You want to break it up into the smaller ones. And the lid on the left here is very breakable over time. The lid on the right is not so much. Oh, and for why I don't like the plastic, it's for health reasons, but it also just looks really bad, in my opinion, to have a lot of pieces of plastic in your house. It doesn't even sound good. Don't like the sound of plastic, just sounds like a bunch of garbage rattling around in the cabinet. And I don't mean to be offensive if you have that. I just want to encourage you to get something that's going to be more durable and last so much longer. These can be used in the oven, wherever, freezer, fridge, anything. Obviously, I do have some plastic in the kitchen. It's just not that like mountain of toppling cheap little containers that I'm sure a lot of us grew up with. If you're not ready to make the switch yet, don't worry about it. Just heavens to Betsy, don't denature your food in a microwave on top of putting it in plastic. At least use glassware in the microwave, please. As these things go, there's a perfectly nice microwave here, but I haven't used one in many, many years and don't intend to ever again. I'm working way too hard to get nutrients to lose them that way. Also, this is a little blueberry tree that came in the mail. I was surprised how happy they are when they arrive. It needs a little more sun and a new pot. I always just have so much spring mix and spinach on hand. Now I'm just kind of showing you random stuff for fun instead of doing a fridge tour. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. But I was gonna say if you don't like using oils or butters and stuff like that to keep things from sticking to your pans, using tomatoes or more watery foods, avocados, those just kind of mix together well with your vegetables and such. that keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pan. I also really love throwing this chia seed in my smoothies. Having the right balance of omega 3s and 6s is critical, and chia seeds are really great for that. I don't spend money on eating at restaurants, so it's easy for me to go in on buying organic and non-GMO food. It's harder to find things that are both, but I do my best. This is good, but I wish it didn't have cane sugar in it. People are always sweetening things that if you don't eat sugar, it doesn't actually need to be sweetened because you're a little bit more sensitive to natural sugars. This one does the same thing with the sugars. Basically, I just try to eat as clean as possible, and it's really not that expensive if you buy more like organic produce versus getting all of the more processed organic foods. My banana strawberry smoothie. As I said, I veer towards veganism. I pay a lot of attention to traditional Chinese medicine dietetics. I'm not a purist. I'll have anything that has clean ingredients, especially if someone's made it lovingly, because I enjoy food that has a lot of good energy put into it, a bit of kitchen witchery. Variety is not only the spice of life, it also keeps our spleens happy because they thrive on a lot of diversity. Changing it up a lot helps to ensure you're getting all of the proper nutrients. Chinese medicine recommends not having the same meal more than, I forget, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. People pay for the gas and tips and everything at restaurants. They pay for getting sick. I do the math a little bit differently when I go grocery shopping and just go, okay, well, I'm going to eat as clean and healthy and natural as possible. So that way everything else in my life is cheaper. This has basically been a quick overture of what I eat, but if you are curious, the main thing is just get all of your prebiotics, your really high fiber intake, lots of produce, and most Americans are actually fiber deficient. So all of your smoothies and cooked vegetables will make everything so much better in life. I hope you've enjoyed this kind of hodgepodge snack tour.